Okay, day 342. This is part two summary. So it got cut off right where I was saying about the houses. And if you had a cluster of houses, let's say four in the Thomas Drive area and 4 or 5 apartments over on the Manitoba Drive. So Thomas Drive's kind of an upgrade from Manitoba being houses rather than kind of these low-end apartments. But it's basically the same operation. You have one den mother that kind of manages all the girls. You tell them you don't go outside ever. You just do housework, whatever, and then you be around for when we need you at night because we're going to be bringing the guys in here at night. Now, this is exactly the reporting that Luke is doing, okay? The only difference is it's always the same person that answers the 911 call. And this is why I say if it's either one person or two, Sadiq and Galani, and Galani may just have two IDs, and it could even be Hina, that is that person. But you basically, whoever calls 911, whatever girl calls 911 or tries to climb out the bathroom window like they did in Long Island serial killer case, you basically just intercept the police when they come to the door and say, oh yeah, he beat me. And then you file it as Sadiq or you file it as Galani. So you intercept. You can do an intercept with the police report just like you can do an intercept electronically. And that's what I believe that Imran is doing. So we don't know how many girls are there. We don't know if there's 5, 10, 15 in the series of homes. Now the way that DynCorp did it overseas was it was a group of about 4 or 5 girls per, I'll turn this off. It was a group of about 4 or 5 girls per house. So, but again, we don't have any direct evidence, but this is why it's so important for Luke Rosiak of the Daily Caller to interview Galani. Let's have a long format interview on Crowdsource the Truth with Galani, have a long interview with Sadiq, and have them explain and just have me ask some questions. I would love for Sharyl Atkisson to be a part of that. The recommendation I'm going to mention to Sharyl Atkisson is this. This isn't the old world where you have a press release at the National Press Club and then you go over here and you do a book pitch here and you do a book pitch here and you go to Barnes & Noble and you do a book pitch here. Recast, this is my recommendation to Sharyl Atkisson, recast the smear as a counterinsurgency manual. First, to understand what is happening, you have to know the plays. You have to know the plays that are being run against you. You have to know NGOs that sound nice that are smear you, okay? You have to know fake reporters is playbook 2 that smear you. The New York Times planted reporters in major news organizations that smear you. That's play 3. So that you have these, so the smear becomes this daily playbook that you use and you go, okay, that's number 1. Oh yeah, Sharyl's talking about, and you apply this, you apply the smear and apply the playbook to what's actually happening in this case going on right now. And you could apply it to other cases as well. But this is what makes it an invaluable desk reference versus the smear I'm talking about, an invaluable desk reference versus being, oh, I read it, I bought it, I got her signature, I read the first 2 chapters, it was great, but I don't read it. This is how the smear, and this is the only book out there that actually is this playbook. This is almost a counterinsurgency or a counterinsurgency playbook. And it's so important. So the ties between Sharyl and I is the electronic surveillance is what she got. I got more than the electronic surveillance. I got the parallel construction that happens after that, where they put you in jail, and then they, put your name out in the New York Times, CNN, and WAPO with, oh, he's a right-wing conspiracy theorist. So I have kind of the other half of this, which is the physical surveillance piece of this. So that's why it's a good combination of the two of us working together. So Sharyl, what I'm saying is this is a new form. This is a new form. This is a daily thing that you need to be doing. I'm serious. Once a day. Use Crowdsource the Truth. You don't have to invest any resources. A daily, stay up with this story. Get up to speed on this story and stay with it and use the smear as a playbook. And you will find your sales will rocket because people will have this long-term daily gaining understanding rather than just kind of like a transactional thing where they come in and they look, like me meeting you at the press club, briefly, and then buying smear and then leaving, So anyway, that's my advice for a Emmy award-winning journalist who's won the Edward R. Murrow Award for investigative reporting. That's the kind of chutzpah I've got this morning. I slept at a Holiday Inn Express. No, I didn't. I was much lower end hotel than that on a rat line. But anyway, that's my note out to Sharyl Atkisson, like Kiss, Kiss.